we actually recording?
Live intro music from Cultivated Mind. And if you don't know what to sing about love. That is a quote from Squidly Cole. This quote addresses one of the main reasons I created Hippie-Fari, the beautiful life-changing message of reggae music. It was created for social change, and its message is as strong today as it was in the 60s when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica. So welcome to another episode of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, presented by the Island Rhythm Clothing and Reggae Painter. And for a special treat today, not only do we have Cultivated Mind back in the studio for their monthly, but I also have the owner of Island Rhythm Clothing, Mr. Shane Scott. Hey, what up, Shane?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Welcome to the show, brother. He is my lovely co-host for this evening. So like I said, we recorded live in the Omen Honey Reggae Radio Studios in the beautiful Ocala National Forest in the great state of Florida. So take a second and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I am your host, Scotty the High-Strung Hippie, and Hippie-Fari is that place where we discuss all things reggae. So if reggae music is your thing, you're in the right place. So this is our, this is the fourth one, isn't it, Tony?
I believe so.
Awesome,
yes,
man. This is our fourth Cultivated MonDaze. It's our monthly with the official reggae band of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, Cultivated Mind. I've mentioned it before. I mention it again. We wanted to partner with a band that we not only loved musically and talent base, but that also pretty much represented our message. And I don't think there's a band out there that represents what Hippie-Fari is doing more than Cultivated Mind. So naturally, I asked. Tony said yes, which was awesome, and here we are. We're doing a monthly, and I don't think I could work with a better band or a cooler group of people, and they are out of Virginia Beach, one of the greatest reggae scenes in the United States, so everybody can take a lesson from the VB reggae scene. So I just want to say welcome, Shane of the Island Rhythm, as my co-host, and welcome Cultivated Mind back to the show for the fourth Cultivated MonDaze. What's going on, gentlemen? TC, Tony, how you doing?
Yo, big up. Thanks for having us back, Scotty.
Always.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you, brother.
Yes, man. It's absolutely a pleasure to have you guys on. I think it's really cool. It's hard knocking down people to do one podcast, but I got Tony. I'm like, all right, we're going to do one a month, and I'm still going to keep bugging you for new music. I do apologize. But I love it because Cultivated Mind has a lot of stuff constantly going on, man. Playing, putting out albums. So it's a great band to have because you're putting out content all the time. There's always something going on with Mr. Tony Brandon TC of Cultivated Mind. So welcome back. Fourth time. Y'all have come through. Has the vibe changed at all since the first visit? You know what I mean? On the podcast? Because I know we did a Cultivated Mind podcast before we made it the monthly. Do you think the vibe has kind of changed from the very first time we sat down until now?
No, I mean, I love the vibe, and the way it was the first time was awesome. I really loved all the questions and everything was really put together well, and I had a great time, and I know Tony's really been enjoying it.
Hell
You're
yeah.
a solid interviewer, bro, and you have good questions, and you're not just our interviews, but all the interviews you do, man, have a lot of substance to them, so
Thank
we're just
you.
happy to be a part of it, bro.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I think the vibe has stayed the same, man. Sometimes, you know, you work into, like, relationships with people, but I think the first podcast we did, which I urge everybody to listen to, I think it's episode 4, was just, it crushed it, man. It was an amazing podcast. So, yeah, I think the vibe has kind of stayed the same, man. So, once again, thank you guys so much for being on. Definitely appreciate it, man. Shane, thank you for coming on. Much appreciated, taking time out of your day.
So this is the first time I've talked to you guys, like sitting down across from you. What's Cultivated Mind mean to you? And has it really evolved, or how's it changed since you guys first sat down and started practicing with each other?
No, you can go ahead.
When this began, maybe like 13, 14 years ago, this kind of started off, I was a teacher, man, and so I used to urge my students, cultivate your mind. Is not a joke, but kind of every kid comes in with some sort of news or report or what Lil Yachty did last weekend. And usually all of it is based in some sort of rubbish or gossip or whatever. And so I used to urge my students, don't even believe this. If you don't believe the internet, do some research. Don't even believe me. Check me. Check if what I'm saying is really true. And everybody who tells you something, go and double check that stuff. And don't wait for people to feed you information. Go out and actively search for it yourself, whether it be music. Don't just put on a playlist that says chill vibes. Take the time to go and find an artist you like. And so that was kind of like an adage I would always tell kids. Is like, man, don't believe everything people tell you. Go cultivate your own mind, grow your own brain. Don't let somebody come in and put their hands in it like dough. And so, I think in the beginning we kept that adage of like, trying to keep knowledge as the base. And we have a bit of like, I know you joke that I snarl in pictures and stuff like that. But a lot of that, man, is like we're here to stand for knowledge and education and take a hard stance towards that stuff. So even though militance is in there, man, that's all a part of becoming educated and doing it yourself and learning from readings. And if you want to know about Marcus Garvey, don't just think about him in the song. Go read about what the man was all about. Go figure out his philosophies. Go actually dig into the teachings of His Majesty. Don't just go the teachings of His Majesty. Go read it. And so I think that there's a lot of that we try and push for people, especially in our neighborhood where we have a lot of government involvement. I mean, this is Langley area, all that kind of stuff. We really have Big Brother over our shoulder consistently in this area. So I feel like that message of trying to at least feed your own brain has stuck with us since the whole way. And I think even the new album kind of reflects that mentality too. So hopefully we haven't wandered too far from the course. I guess that's more for, our giant 10-person fan base to figure out.
Stop it. You have not wandered too far from the course. It's really cool you said that, being a teacher. I wish more teachers would actually teach kids in the manner that you just presented, because me and Kira, my wife, talk about it all the time. Revolution, first of all, it starts in the heart and in the mind. But Natalie Rise, her new album, Liberate's all about the fact that you have to liberate your mind first, because the media, negativity, music, a lot of people, if you're weak-minded, that stuff will hijack your mind. So a lot of people's thoughts aren't even theirs. They're somebody else's, you know what I mean? So, yes, cultivate your mind. That's a beautiful thing. Think for yourself. Make sure it's what you want, not some crap that you've been fed, you know what I mean? Because you have to be careful, or else your thoughts won't be your own. And that's a scary thing, man. You know what I mean? That is definitely a scary 100%. Thing. Yeah. But like I said, I wish more teachers were progressive like you. It actually, critical thinking, two people have an opinion and they talk about it and form their own opinion based on that, instead of just being in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So I know the core message behind your music. Let's talk about the stuff that's not released, that's going to be coming out soon. We've talked about it a little bit before, but I like to bring it up again because you got so much. The core is the core pretty much staying the same as far as the, I know you throw the militants in there. You throw a lot of, you have to be kind of smart to listen to Tony's music, because if you're laughing sometimes, it means you get it. If you're not laughing sometimes, it means you don't fucking get it. He throws a lot of jabs in there, man. You got to pay attention, but I like that because it keeps you on your toes, and if you get it, it's pretty funny. You see how his mind works and where he's actually coming from. But that core message, the fans of Cultivated Mind and the new people, are we still able to look for that music of resistance and militance and social change?
Yes, there's a couple tunes that I think are going to be, addressing that. I'd say that there's like two parts for the albums, man. There's the personal stuff where, like you said, I might be opening some veins and coming at some people or whatever I feel like I have to get off my chest. But aside from like maybe a few hip hop tunes and some things that might deviate just because the mood of the song changes, a lot of our stuff is addressing kind of the tension of what's happening right now. To have people lie in your face publicly, to stifle. You know, I'm not saying you have to be a big fan of the talking heads on Comedy Central or CBS or whatever it is, the comedians that are poking jabs, but when they put a muzzle on people and you lose your job over this kind of stuff.
Like Colbert, you're talking about?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, they're going to come. They just, from what I heard, they just handed subpoenas to South Park.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's like a bunch of stuff. If it's that, now they're coming after pop culture. That's like
Right.
the last level of stuff that
Right.
they corrupt. And I realize media is the first thing they corrupt, but when they start coming for the people champs,
Yeah.
that's when it's over, man. And so
They're trying to
right.
silence you.
Yes, and I feel like that's a lot of the tension that's focused on in the album is kind of being like, well, you know, if you're gonna be a part of this country and promote its values, then you need to keep everybody who's in this country also responsible to those or liable to those same values, and that we don't like cut corners for people because they're funny on camera for 5 seconds.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're destroying every alliance we've ever had as Americans.
Yep.
So. You know, there's a lot of that coming in there. I'd say Shield of Jehovah is a big, a song that feels like a big dark cloud, but not in a bad way. And so if I can give any kind of like feel of the album, it's the title, Endurance, that you're going to push through, no
Amen.
matter how dark it may get. And for the first time, which is why we definitely want to feature Mr. Drummy tonight, especially some of the tunes that we have that almost have more like a Burning Spear kind of vibe.
Beautiful.
We're doing all acoustic instruments. There's some that are all digital and slap like modern hip hop. But TC, to give some extra oomph to the album and to finally be a part of a Cultivated Mind work, is going to be taking up a lot of the jobs on some of the main tracks. So you'll be hearing some of his drumming come out there too. And TC has a very like militant, like I'm gonna Batman punch you in the face way of hitting a snare.
I love that.
And there's sawdust like on my floor like all the time. So I think that's another thing too, man, is that like people have heard me play drums for like 3 albums, and you know something's always gonna stay the same if I keep using that formula. And to be honest, with life going on, jobs, it was really tough to do that, and we hadn't put out an album for a while. So this time, like, I wasn't in a rush. Seems like the themes of the album haven't changed much since we started it, and the world is still a scary place.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Yeah, and I love what you just said. You know, about how the message of the music, it brings up 2 quotes that I say all the time, man. Fascism is in its most advanced form in the United States. We just are too blind to see it. And a Mr. Tony Brand quote: reggae music is the last bastion of the People's Army. When you have people coming in and trying to silence you, especially trying to silence pop culture, trying to silence Hollywood, you know, people that are opposed to our government, when our government is threatening them, trying to shut them up, serving them subpoenas, I'm sorry, that's fascism. We just don't see it because it's covered by the guise of freedom. And in response to that, reggae music is the last bastion of the People's Army. So take the weapons you have and fight against it. You know what I mean? Use this platform to be able to, like I say at the end of my podcast, speak your mind before somebody else does it for you. Because if you don't start opening your mouth, eventually you'll forget what you were going to say, and then somebody else is going to start talking for you.
Yeah,
You know?
you made a solid point when you said, like, you know, fascism is like, we have a perfect form here. It's a perfect form when everyone is on board with it. That's how
Right.
fascism is best, when everyone's on board and you don't notice it's fascism.
Right.
Because everyone's involved going, go team, and not realizing the team is effing up and we're
Right.
not checking the team. So, you know,
Right.
I think that's a big part of all this, man, is like you should be able to raise your eyebrow at some things and go, I don't sign off on that, and be able to talk and find other people who are like that. The louder you can be to talk about that stuff, the more that they realize you're trying to connect, and they
Yep.
shut that down.
And you know
just
what to make-
buy a Walmart,
I agree.
You're good to go, you know?
And you know what to make you laugh? Ask somebody, you know, who's your favorite politician? Or who's your favorite person in government? They might name somebody. What have they done? 90% of people they don't know. But you know, a lot of people hate a lot of people hate people for no reason, but they'll love people for no reason, you know? And it's like
That's
Yeah.
what
they're
I'm
just
saying.
blindly following, you know? It's crazy.
I like him. He just seems like a nice guy. you
Yeah,
know?
so did the serial killer next door too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the description of all those dudes.
Yeah.
He was always so nice.
Just a quiet man.
To follow up to that point, being a politically conscious band, how do you get your message out there, but keep the vibe going at the same time, so people aren't going to your shows and be like, man, this guy's too political, but still they still have a good time.
That's a great question, and they do go, "You're too political." That's where Mr. Drummy comes in. Yeah. So the same way you put a pill in cheese and hand it to a dog so they don't know there's a heartworm pill in there. You're looking out for them, but they don't want to eat it. That's kind of the same vibe. You're trying to look out for somebody and be like, "Hey, man, have you thought about seeing it this way?" And they don't want to eat it, so you wrap it in cheese, and that cheese is...
Sometimes the cheese is just a guy playing bongos with a smile, throwing a vibra slap in your face every now and then.
Right. I love my vibra slap. That's fun.
Rhythmically, man. If people dance, I don't know, you can feed them poison, so why not feed them good? Like, you listen to dance songs and all sorts of songs that have, like, a great beat, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, and
why not do that with some good stuff, too?
Yeah, and even if, it may not be something they necessarily agree with, it's still something that it's easier for them to listen to a point being made that's, nothing they can stop, and, they can still enjoy it.
It's palatable.
Yes, there you go, yeah. It's good.
Malleable, there you go. Tony does a good job at that, man. Cultivated Mind does a good job at that. Even if you don't agree with the lyrics at all, watching you guys is like, it's like, wow, this is awesome to watch.
Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate that, man.
Of course, man. I'm just saying that so you don't hit me with a baseball bat on the dock, but
this is open racism on this platform.
I'm making it up.
Yeah. No. That's just because we all love each other. That's all that is.
That's hilarious, man.
I'm coming for you German bastard.
Right.
That's lovable roasting.
Yeah. Go eat a sauerkraut. So, Tony, if I pray down by the river, those lyrics hit really hard. I believe it's Sunday School. That's the name of the track, right?
Yes, sir. Those
lyrics hit really hard. And that track, if you listen to it, I was talking about laughing a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? I'll go to church, but I love God more than ever. But these people are full of crap. On your new album that's coming out, but something that hasn't been released yet. Do you have any lyrics that hit UNTC that hit especially deep for you? Maybe that you could share something that is like, this is personal. I cannot wait for people to hear it because they're going to be like, damn, man.
Which of my lyrics do you love the most, TC?
Yeah, I know, right? You talk. You say it first, and then I'm gonna think about it.
For new stuff, I mean, Deep in My Pocket hits just because we've been doing this a while, but that's not really like revolutionary. That's just I'm getting old like a pair of jeans.
Right.
I would say, man, Iron in My Heart, because we've lost brothers over the years that really stood for reggae music. Shout out to Derek Moore, Nick Robertson. We have people from on Josh Ledson that really, like artists and people who just came to shows, man, who really pushed this music and believed in it the same way that we do. And, when they fell, it was extremely heartbreaking. And it didn't just shake us, it shook a whole city and a county and a state and a coast. And a lot of people knew Derek, man, and he was not a small force in music. So I think that song, The Iron in My Heart, on Design I March, if my brethren shall fall, I'll pick up his torch. Forward righteousness, no matter the cost, and Father, give I courage when all hope seems lost. That was kind of like our message to some of our brothers, and I didn't want to make a big deal out of it and say that's what we were livicating the song to, because I just didn't want to cause a stir like that. We know who it was for, but at the time, man, that was really kind of where my head was at, was I didn't want the guys that weren't with us anymore to be up there looking down going, also it was all talk.
Yeah.
And I wanted people who laid groundwork to know somewhere in the spirit realm, man, that like there's people that followed what they were saying, believed in them, and will keep pushing out of honor and respect for that and for the culture as well.
Beautiful, man. I love it.
How's the road been for you guys lately? And then any standout shows you've done lately, or strange stories or anything like that you would care to share?
Strange stories. That's funny, Tony.
Strange stories, man. I don't.
Rake me over the coals, bro.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what there's.
Tony's like 9 more podcasts later, and story number 9,000. No,
I was literally just thinking. I'm like, man, it seems like we always just happen to be the guys where it's like, like we're like we should change our band to like Murphy's Law, considering everything that seems to like we think about be like, hey man, could you imagine? And then like 30 minutes later, it happens.
It
Like,
happens.
We
You're
need a
speaking
lead
it to
Trevino.
existence, man. That's funny.
yeah.
If you
I
only
mean-
knew you had that much power, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we've struggled with what, however many 13, 14 power outages during a set now, and we've encountered that multiple times.
Yeah, we
now.
got a lot of digital stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes the house can't handle it, and it'll just
Yeah.
cut out. Yeah.
Maybe just lots of traffic, and then just
The gotta tell them about the you
Oh,
hitting the ride
yeah.
cymbal and the trumpet, and then telling us to play.
yeah,
the
but
lightning.
and then say we're in inclement weather in Maine, and I mean we have been had to throw some tarps and stuff over stuff due to inclement weather before and let some rain hold off, but we were literally on stage with the entire stagehand crew, everything. Not to mention the woman who was supposed to be running everything, and she's
Let's wait for the end for that one.
okay,
Yeah.
and she's literally like, "Hey, you guys, like, we still need to keep this party going, so
Everybody's
we have
ran back
everything
to their
set up,
tents.
and
Yeah.
everyone's under like their tent, back in their camping
Right.
gear, like in their tent, in their camper, in their car, something." And she's like, "Hey, we're gonna try to keep the party going. These guys are gonna keep it going." And she's like, "You guys just like TC, you play your, I have my crash cymbal, my splashes and stuff, and all I could play was the cymbals. Like, everything was wet, everything was covered in tarps." She was like, "And Tony, you can play your trumpet."
It is lightning.
It's
Yeah,
literally
it's like,
like
hey,
a
just stick the
storm
metal in.
outside.
TC,
Yeah,
you
exactly,
bet.
exactly. A lightning rod, a
Yeah.
trumpet, like, geez, wave it
Well,
around.
She gave us a lot of help for that, and then after the show, we find out
She's literally the one like running everything, and she's
not even a part of the festival at the end.
yeah.
Someone told us, like, yo, she's not even part. She's not an organizer.
She was
It was like a
trying to-
homeless lady who just starts telling you what to do.
They had a guy up front doing like announcements and everything like that, and she was up there on the front of the stage
On the
announcing everything.
stage.
He's like, "I'm literally, this is my job." Other people had to be like, "You have to stop doing things because you're doing our jobs and you're just
and
looking
you're
like
not
a fool."
you're not on the organizer
Yeah, and
list,
you are not
which
anyone.
we didn't even find out till the end. Like, it was just a whole night of, I need you guys to get electrocuted. I need you guys to do this. Everyone needs to listen to me. And then at the end of the show, somebody was like, yo, I don't even know who that lady is. She hasn't worked for the festival. And I was
Dude,
like,
you should use her for your street team, man. She seems like she's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, I was like,
I
it's
know.
crazy what like a little bit of like confidence and authority in your voice will get you. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I thought she ran the festival, homie.
dude, literally where she's got to a point, dude. Tony literally had to be like, "Man, with all due respect, this is not in our contract."
Yeah, we're not
Right,
going
right.
to
Ha.
go out here.
Like we're wiping down electrical equipment with like moving towels and like shirts, and we're like, "This is not okay."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that
That-
is definitely not okay. Swinging a trumpet around in lightning is definitely not okay. Getting struck by lightning certainly is not
Yeah,
okay.
she's like, "We got to save all this sound gear and everything like that." I'm like, with all due respect, like, where's like we're the musicians here
Right.
plugged into this equipment? We're covering our equipment right now. Like, where's there's no protocol for all this stuff? Like, why are the musicians responsible?
Yeah, we ended
Right.
up helping, like, cover up their PA.
Yeah, exactly. They're looking at us like, "What are you guys gonna do? How do we do this?" And we're like, why are you looking at us?
So,
Right.
some festivals, I would say every festival has a good weird moment, whether it be on the ride or you meet someone at the gas station that creeps you out, or, I think a lot of times too, man, we've had great moments. We got to play with, big shout to Amlock.
Yes.
Amlock Hippie-Fari from Steel Pulse sitting in with us, and
Nice.
you have moments where someone's asking you if you'll please Frankenstein yourself and electrocute yourself for 5 people, and then next week you're jamming with the Steel Pulse Basie. So that's like that's the career of a reggae musician, is
Right.
one day 5 people and insanity, and then the next time it's a sold out show with your heroes, and you're gonna go right back to playing a bar and then back up again. So road's been up and down. We're still kind of an underground band and always have been. So when we hit those cities where we have our family and friends and people that we played for a long time, they're great shows. And then other shows, we're going out there and planting the flag where we can just to, get it started. So some of those are kind of rough, but, just keep coming back. And after a while, those crowds build.
That's beautiful. And what a great segue into my next question. I was going to say, what role do you think like smaller towns, backyards, local festivals, stuff like that play in keeping the scene alive? Because to me, it's everything, man. The underground has to exist, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and it does. You meet a lot of, like you said, you can, like Tony said, you meet a lot of different people, and there's just a different environment to those types of shows, and there's
Yes.
a different atmosphere, and those things kind of help set in stone other things that build you up along the way. And
Yes.
yeah, they're definitely, they're more, some of those are more intimate and meaningful, and some people don't get to experience certain shows like that, and only experience. There's a difference in like a venue show and then like going to see us play at like one of our spots that we might play around here in the Hampton Roads somewhere.
Yep.
Or as opposed to if we're playing somewhere. Like one of my favorite shows that we've ever played was actually just here on again, another Steel Pulse show, but it was on the oceanfront stage in front of like pretty much just the entire population of Virginia Beach, and it was
Right.
just awesome. And then when we were done opening up, we just got to sit next to the stage where we got to then watch Steel Pulse, and it was just an epic night.
That's amazing.
And I think too, man, you see these shows like he said, you connect with certain people at certain shows that you're not going to at others. It's a giant crowd, man. I will say this: the big crowds are great because people bring their kids, so
Yeah.
they'll like see little kids with your shirt on and being like, "I love. Are you gonna play this song?" And you're like, "I can't even get like my aunts and uncles and shit." to
Right.
listen to."
Yeah.
And there's some 5-year-old that's like, "I know all your records." And you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!" that's
Yeah.
awesome. So the big crowds are cool because you see the youth come out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when you see when you get the smaller shows, man, I always notice the dress is different, and you can tell like what kind of show this is. And I'm about to get myself in trouble with the EDM crowd, but this is Uncle Tony telling you to put some clothes on. Well,
Yeah.
I think you notice, man, the difference is like people come out like you're gonna meet someone at the smaller shows. You dress normal, you dress nice. You're gonna come talk to people. You're not trying to just get as trippy as you can get and lose your mind. You're there for them. If you're a small crowd and you know it's a bar, you either came out for the food or you came out for the music. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Either one. So you're meeting people who love the music. Whereas at like some of the bigger EDM kind of shows we've done, you get like the everything but girl, which is like I got my eyelashes on, I got braids put in, I got 4 different kinds of makeup, I got like fish scales, blue fish scales, I
Yeah.
got like a bikini top with every button from every band, but oops, forgot my pants. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And like they're all
That's the EDC crowd, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, the girls, it's like, it's
they're not trying
insane,
to talk
dude.
to you about your favorite guitar solo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And maybe they are, but this is not a shot at women because there's dudes out there running around half naked.
100%.
Doing the same thing at the
Yeah,
festivals.
there's
Yeah.
the everything but dudes who, they brought their shorts and forgot everything else. But
Yeah.
I think
Right.
that's you can kind of tell the vibe of the show you're at. And the biggest shows tend to bring out people, the extras who just kind of came and want to party. Whereas like smaller shows, you're going to meet maybe a promoter, or you might meet someone that wants to do backyard parties, or you might
Yep.
just hang out. Tony Chambers, Chris Batista, a lot of these guys we've linked with over the years were guys that were, when we were really coming up and had very few people in the crowd, they were some of those few people, and that's how we got to link up with them. So I don't know if that would have happened at a 1,000-person on the beach kind of show thing. So,
Yeah.
they have their ups and downs, but smaller shows, man, is personal. So, you remember those moments more, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Right on.
like in comparison, we played the Point Break Festival and everything, and we met a lot of cool people and stuff like that there. But I mean, we just recently played another show at one of our new favorite spots to play at the Beachside Bistro in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and we had a gentleman who approached us and was like, "Look, man, like I used to be a Southern rock band, and just what
Right.
you guys are doing is like incredible. I love y'all's social message and like everything you're doing, and like the way y'all play and the way y'all combine like the different styles of music." And like him and his wife stayed and just really appreciated everything we did and stayed for the whole set. And I mean, things like that at the other shows, bigger ones, you don't really get to feel
No.
appreciation that somebody had for the show
Yep.
that you would at those other ones.
Yep. And I like the smaller ones as a percussionist because, like a lot of the times, especially here in Daytona, like I'm one of the only ones there, So I threw an event the One Love Fam Jams, Beachside Blaze, blew that beachside party up. But I ended up playing with 4 out of the 5 bands because everyone's like, "You want to play percussion with us? Sure. You want to play percussion? Sure."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you get that kind of intimate thing where, like you said, with the bigger ones, that's just chances are they wouldn't be able to find you, but it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I get that 100%. So what are you guys experimenting with in the studio right now? Are you any like cool equipment? Any new, like, obviously you're not recording the same way you did 15 years ago, but what's hot right now in the studio to make reggae music sound good, man?
You gotta ask the maestro that
Mr.
question.
Tony.
Spit and bubblegum. So old
like
albums were made hiding under blankets and singing into internal mics or using one SM58 on a whole drum kit. So we're way past that at this point. But we lost a whole hard drive, as I've mentioned before. So
Yep.
we had to redo some things. Awesome. But I've always wanted to do analog production. And in the past,
Yeah.
I had a Lexicon tape machine, like recorder, like cassette
Yep.
tapes. And I would I ran the drums and part of the vocals from Miss That Girl on the cassette tapes and then ran them out and sent them to a guy in Norfolk.
Let me do something real quick. I never really knew how much I missed that group. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, bro. But yeah, a lot of those, like from No Quarter for Thieves, there's like some stuff that sounds like really tapey, and it's because it was actual tapes on those. But like the process is about the same as like using analog gear, and I was really trying to get the whole tracks baked with some stereo bus compression, and so I have a bunch of like middle of the road stuff in my rack. I have some. I'm gonna let people know, man. People hate on the Art Pro VLA2, man. Who you? Put some electro harmonics tubes in that sucker, and then come talk to me.
Quick question: Do you know how to record analog?
Yes,
Like-
that's what I'm saying. I built a rack, and like some of the stuff's gonna be analog, some will be all digital. But
Because I know you got to know what the hell you're doing to do analog. Yeah, it's not just like plug and play. So
no, and you can hear that on songs like No Quarter for Thieves. The snare drum was run through the tape, and it sounds gangster.
Yeah.
Do some of the stuff on like Miss That Girl, it sounds a little too like in the room boxy, and I didn't really know how to EQ that well, so I won't blame that on tape. But sometimes I foibled it because I didn't know what I was doing. But this time, like we didn't have it where we could run stuff out. So we had to bake things and then send in samples that we had made on an outside machine or something like that to get those snare samples, and then I would save those and move those into new tracks and stuff and cut them and paste them so I could have that snare drum I worked my butt off on or whatever.
right.
But one of the things that I wanted was to have my own rack so I could run whatever I want. Vocals, drums, the whole bus, whatever it may be. So I've got a rack. Big up Warm Audio for making stuff for dudes from, downtown Hampton. I appreciate it. I have their G-Comp clone. I got a couple things, man. And like I said, the Art Pro stuff is kind of questionable, but the few machines that they have that are really great, like the MPA and the Pro VLA, as long as you switch the tubes on them, they're glorious. And I actually like my Art Pro VLA too with the Electro Harmonics tubes. I tried Mullards and a couple other things. Those were the ones that I stuck with. And honestly, that competes with anything else I've heard and stuff that I heard in bigger studios. And was just talking to a producer who's done major releases with like rappers and stuff. That was like, yeah, it's not a bad machine if you know how to change a few things out on it.
Was-
It's you pop the tubes out. So
You were talking about that snare, No Quarter for Thieves, right?
yes, that was made
Yeah.
with actual tape machine.
You mind if I play a little bit of that real quick?
Please go ahead.
I love it. Love this song, man. It's an absolutely fantastic track right here. No Quarter for Thieves, Cultivated Mind. That was a little bit, but I do see what you're talking about now, man. That snare is beast.
Thanks, bro. And yeah, this album, like, there's certain things that, like, horns, I just, like, I have No Quarter for Thieves, not No Quarter for Thieves, Shield of Jehovah. Man, I'm starting to look like Steven Seagal and name my songs 3-word names. Yes, I guess it happens to us all, one day. But yeah, the some of the tracks that I have that I like worked on the new stuff, like Shield of Jehovah, like the drums, I wanted them snappy, and I just wasn't getting that from the analog stuff. But the horns,
Yes.
I ran all the horns through two of my analog machines, and like that being able to like select what I want digital and what I want analog in a mix, and then to be able to kind of kiss the mix on my master bus with some stereo compression, that's made a big change. So we have both options now, which it used to be we're trying to do some hack stuff to make it analog and then move it into the digital realm. Now we're just, if I want analog stuff, we can do analog stuff. Which
That's
is pretty
awesome,
cool.
man. Fantastic. So, last thing, I was gonna have Shane kind of hop on here, but do you have any favorite pedals or plugins? Production
I do.
tricks?
Yeah, and I'm gonna let so a couple things, man. I really like sidechaining reverbs to my vocals, but I'll also something I didn't do on last albums, and a big shout to Barry LaPlante for putting this bug in my ear from United Souls. I had issues with I like a little bit of the mid range in the bass, and eventually like the mid range from that, the low end of the piano, low end of vocals, and the bubble specifically, the organ
Right.
bubble get muddy. And he suggested I sidechain the bubble to the bass. So anytime the bass cuts in, it like kicks back the bubble behind it, which that honestly is demodified stuff a lot. Another thing is if you're using like GarageBand and you want bus compression or you can't create buses for your stuff, literally print your stuff with everything else quiet and solo your horns. Print them as their own song and bring them back in, and you can work with them as a unified thing. But my biggest real like recommendation for this is. Get your mid-range right, man. And I know
Nice.
this sounds like kind of stupid, but the mid-range will correct all your highs and lows, and that was the piece I was missing for years. And big shout also to Colt Caparoon and his YouTube channel for what they do for bedroom producers. That guy's a genius and very unpretentious and awesome to check out. So, but now my pedal boards, man, shockingly, I use a good old-fashioned Space Echo pedal. I like the Keeley Caverns
Nice.
because it's reverb and delay both. I use an EP or XP Exotic boost for clean jazz boost, and I hate the name of this, but here we go. Super Badass Distortion by MXR. It's the worst name I've ever heard
Right.
for a pedal, but it's like I hate distortion, and even I like this pedal. You can really dial some stuff.
Pretty
in, but-
super badass, honestly.
Yeah, thank you, sir. For drums, man, what's your go-tos for equipment?
Oh, for drums and stuff? Well, when it comes to like cymbals, I enjoy like Sabian cymbals.
Something.
That's my like go-to cymbal. Um, for sticks, my go-to sticks are Vader drumsticks because Vaders have they were different. Before I knew they existed, I always wanted a drumstick that was flat and not rounded off at the bottom because I thought it would give it a different like weight and like bounce. And then I stumbled upon Vader sticks that have that, and I was like, oh my god, this is like a dream come true. And it felt exactly like I wanted it to. And with the flat bottom, it gives like a better cross stick, in my opinion, because it's almost like pushed off the bottom of off the top of the snare head more, because it's actually got a wider base as opposed to being like tapered down. And I go with I usually rock Evans heads on my drums.
Nice.
And then I usually run either like I believe it's the I think it's the like Hydro 360. It's got like these holes, these little rivet holes around the snare drum head. That's the one I put on my snare. And then I use just the Evans 360.
Synthetic for your percussion.
Oh, these for percussion. These are just my drums. For my percussion, like my bongos, my LP bongos, I just use the LP heads that come on them.
Yeah, I went synthetic. Man, I like synthetic a hell of a lot better. I really do.
Yes, I've heard
Much better
synthetic
pop.
a lot, especially with how much we have to like I was just saying, like when we played in the rain And then like when we play when it's really humid outside, there are definitely times I have to like, since they're just skin, they absorb all that moisture and everything, and they'll go from a ping to a poom real quick.
Synthetic is a way to go because I love that. And I like my
Yes.
fingers to pop off. And I just like synthetic way more. I really do. I got the Remo. Actually, I'm looking at them right now. I was going to pull them out for my. I just got them. I got to throw them on. But yeah. And I have some Evans too for my my bongos right here. The Evans here, synthetic.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one. And the Remo, the fiber spinner, or whatever it is. But yeah, they're synthetic. I just like the way the synthetic sounds a lot more, man.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, it's probably a lot easier to get the ping I want for. Like I said, I mean, I've been playing drums for since I was 6, so I have a lot more experience in a lot of different heads and stuff like that. I've only been doing the percussion thing now for this will be 5 years. So
nice.
Me myself, I still consider myself pretty like beginner and new to this.
Oh, me too.
I am just somebody who understands drumming, and literally all I'm doing is imagining I have a drum set, yet I'm only able to play this.
Yep.
So all that just gets like translated into bongos.
Yes.
Which is why some of TC's bongo solos have been legendary.
Nice.
Because most people don't ball out on bongos. And then when it's time for him to be tasteful, man, he don't really like... He's not a dude... Like, the bongos, for me, man, when I hear him, it's like he has a lead instrument. So instead of like a normal... And I know the minute like we were like... It was just us two left in the band, he was thinking, all right, we're putting a band together. And then I was like, nope, we're doing some weird junk.
Yeah.
But he adapted extremely well, and like the bongos have kind of become like a signature of our performance, and like the spots will get people to clap, and TC's really going off and become like the highlights of some of our shows. So I don't know, man. I think as far as bongo playing goes, man, he's one of the best. As far as drums go, he's one of the best. But
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm not really a solo guy. I'm more of like an accent player, but I played the one solo I did for you, Tony, when I was at your house. That was a good one. I don't know if you remember it was the video.
You're not a novice, bro. You got some chops.
Well, I tell you what, pretty fucking awesome. We're about to find out what Mr. TC is going to throw some stuff at us, man. We're going to do a little drum workshop, and then after that, we're going to do a nice little jam session. I got my my bongo set up, my LP Galaxy Giovanni Hildago bongos are beautiful. Got them set up, and I'm going to play along with Mr. TC, but I'm pretty excited about this. On the last Cultivated Mondays, if you listened, Mr. Tony gave us a nice reggae guitar workshop. So, TC, for the drummers out there, can you kind of walk us down or walk us through maybe your favorite drums, your drum fills and transitions?
Well, I mean, like I said, so when it comes to the fills and transitions and things like that, I mean, there may be like signature accents and fills that certain reggae artists would use.
Yep.
And since I'm naturally a like drum kit regular drummer, not just a percussionist, I'm translating all those things just into a bongo set. So I like to use honestly, when it comes to like bongos and stuff like that, when Tony's building his loops and stuff like that, I'll use a lot of like flams while he's doing that, and I'll just like
yes, I love that. Yep.
And I'll even put like my own little like sensitivity on those and stuff, and like I'll like so I can even like like it's like got its own little delay to it.
Yeah, I love that.
And then there's like say he'll look over at me for a fill or something like that, and like instead of like what would be like a normal timbale roll or something like that, like I'll do that on like my bongos. So a lot of the times when I'm playing, I'm literally thinking about like what I would be doing on drums and how I would just incorporate that into this.
Yes, that's absolutely awesome, bro. So, can you do a nice? Can you walk us through a clean one drop on your bongos?
Yeah. If Tony could
Yep.
help me out and just give me one, yeah, I could definitely help accent that out for him.
That'd be great. Nice. Now, how does that shift like when you move into a rockers beat? Say if you had the full kit. What's that?
So when it's like a one drop as opposed to like a rocker, I kind of literally just add in, like, I know in a one drop when I'm playing, there's not a lot of, I'm incorporating kind of what would be like when I'm playing a one drop. I guess when I'm having to incorporate what I would be doing into drums, into bongos, it's more so like highlighting what my like kick drum and my bass would be, my kick drum and my snare would be doing.
Yep.
And then say if I'm doing like if we were doing rockers or something, it's kind of the same thing, but it's just like there's more beats to it. So there's more. You say what?
Or you add like night binkies.
Yes, yeah. Or like he said, I'll add different styles like the Naya Bingi to it, and that will like help. Say if the song goes from one style to another, like a one drop to a steppers or a rockers or something like that, I'll use something like that to help us transition from that. Especially since a lot of the times he's just like stopping the loop, then I have to fill in. Or when he does something and then blames me for it, I have.
Yes, of course.
Even when he's not there.
Right.
I'm not even there, and I've got to.
And I'll just go, damn, DC.
Yes.
But a lot of the stuff, man, that I hear him do too, man, is like is gridding patterns. So, and I think that's kind of what he's saying by like adding in the accents. But a lot of times, like the digital drums are, I can do fills and stuff for dubbing, and I do them sometimes. But a lot of it, man, I think of the way that like a timbale player traditionally plays, like salsa music. He's gonna hit. He's got solo parts, but he also has accents where we have to come in. And oftentimes I'll miss the accent, and I'll look over, and he's like got his sticks in his hand, looking at me like, "Bro, like you."
There's definitely many times where, like, because I mean, like some of the things are very, I'd say, more experimental live,
Right.
And like sometimes he'll just be like, "Hey man, let's get weird," and then like I'm like, "All right, cool. So this is improvised, and we've never done this before." And I mean, we're not afraid to tell anybody that. I mean, everyone whatever we're experiencing together on stage, first. And like everybody else is experiencing for the first time, and everyone just gets to see how we're able to like build that and do that like improvised, and see how we're able to like actually feed off of each other and then create what we do.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes he is born playing the same 10 songs,
Right.
So with that, do you have any tips on how to keep it tight but still like expressing yourself while playing live? Like what?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I mean, I guess like Tony said like he does consider it like a lead instrument, but like I try not to keep it that way. But I mean, I guess us being a two-piece, it's kind of hard not to be. It'd be kind of weird if like he was just standing in front of me and I was behind him. Like,
I mean,
yeah, so. Especially in reggae, it helps a little bit because like we will definitely, everyone has their spots and their times, and Tony will, even when we have full band stuff or anything like that, there's obviously call outs and everyone will have their spot to shine. And me, I've always I I mean, I've been told this before, and I mean, I like to kind of consider myself that too. Drums isn't necessarily always what you can play, but it's
Amen.
about what you should play.
Yes, that is
It's
correct.
playing the drums isn't for like, oh, there's a lot of things I would love to do or would be able to do in a song that just still wouldn't make it overall the best quality for the song as a whole.
Jack Johnson doesn't need Buddy Rich.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes it's not about what you're playing, it's about what you're not playing. And sometimes it's not about what you can play, it's about what you should play. So that's always been my kind of philosophy to it. And I mean, a lot of times I've found that stopping or just adding a single stroke to something, or just taking a certain element out of the rhythm, like if like just my hi-hat, or like say I'll hit my vibra slap, but I'll also hit a couple extra things just to add a little bit more, because like it needed it, not that like I could do it and needed to show somebody, or because I felt it needed more. It's just that's what the song needed.
It's like artwork, man. If you know, like a painter like Bob Ross, if he kept going, he's going to ruin the painting, you know?
Yes.
But he knew when to put one happy little tree instead of 500 of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And don't get me wrong, you will hear and see and witness and experience plenty of different happy little accidents at all of our shows. Because, again, we're also, like Tony says, we're cooking up original recipes with fresh ingredients every time. And along with all the different things that happen, we've had things happen in the middle of songs, like I said, with cutouts and stuff. And sometimes it's how you're able to recover from all of that, too, that what makes the song that much better.
And I don't see it as like a play. Like a lot of people see this as like all right, we have to do the exact same thing every time, and it has to be like what do you call it? A performance, or everyone has a role, and when Johnny says yes, you say no within 30 seconds and get your line right. I try to think of things more like a tennis court, man. So where it's like or a hockey game or soccer game or basketball, where you have the court and the lines. Everybody knows where 3 points, 2 points is. You might have the same team on the same court at the same time playing the game the next week, but every single movement will be different. The ball will not hit the same way. So as long as everybody knows where out of bounds is, and everybody knows what the color or mood is of the song, then you can cater. Like TC's really great at catering to what a song needs, which when you have two guys, we're up there essentially composing. So, you know, having two dudes going, Steve Vai with it the whole time. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no kidding. Trying to outshine each other. It's like, come on.
Yes, and I'll say this, man. We're one of the few like drum and guitar duos that actually will like try and chat between the instruments.
Yes.
And actually try and build some stuff. And I'm not saying that there are guys like that. That was a shot at no one that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody in mind.
There's literally nobody in here.
Hey, everybody, TonyBrand@gmail.com. If you heard that, just go ahead and send him an email. Let him know you think of that.
For all the other drum guitar duos out there, this was no jab or stab at anybody.
Yeah, but I think that's another way too, man. Is we've always treated stuff like, all right, man, this is a sport, and we all know the game. So as long as we go in and play the game and follow the rules, I don't care if you feed the ball up the line or if you cross it over to the corner of the net. As long as you get it to where someone can headbutt that sucker in the goal, we're happy. You know what I'm saying?
One truth, many paths, right, brother?
Exactly. Yes. It's not the destination or what. It's the destination, but how you get there may change.
Well, you were just talking about composition, right? Live composition. Let's do some.
All right, sounds good.
How's that sound? I've got my bongos.
All right, well then we'll let Tony here.
And I figured Tony could give us a nice little skank. TC could start off, and I could do some accents. You know what I mean? We could maybe play a little bit together.
Just run it how we would normally run it if we were doing something on stage. Or...
Shane.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how it all sounds, or how do my drums are?
That's good, man.
All right, cool.
He's up.
Nice. I love it. How'd that sound? Where'd everybody go? Yo, there we go. Nice. You guys been jamming this whole time?
Yeah.
Nice. I lost my internet connection. I came back on. You're still going. It's like an 8-track. You go to work, press play, come home. Shit's still fucking playing. Song like 47.
We can tie it up if you want.
Here we go. Nice. I'll edit that. Nice. I went to hit the drum one last time, knocked my mic right off my desk and everything, man. It was fun.
Nice.
No, yeah, I lost internet there for a second, and I reconnected, and I came back on. You guys were still jamming. I was like, nice. They didn't even miss me.
Did it still record, or do we need to do that again?
No. Totally still recorded.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's still going. So, yeah, it was hard for me to hear because I'm listening through my computer up with the drums, but I mean, I hope it sounded good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
For a lot.
Amazing.
Nice. Very cool, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Well, that was an absolute blast, man. I love drums. I love percussion. You can ask Kira, my wife, how much I love drums. When she first met me, well, I still do it. We'll be watching a movie, and I will, like, she's got really adorable thighs, so I'll sit there and drum on her legs, you know what I mean? But there's not that many drums out there that look as good as my wife, so it's nice when I get a chance to to play the drums on her leg. But
You're making LP jealous.
I love it, man. But yeah, it was so funny. She's like, "That's how I knew you were a drummer. You're always tapping on me, hitting me," and I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, dude. I remember one time I was in a like J.C. Penney or something as a kid, and I was like, I guess I was just naturally doing that, like tapping on my chest and feet and knees and stuff. And some dude just randomly walked up to me and was like, "Hey man, what kind of kit do you have?" And I was like, "One more time." He was like, "I noticed you were like tapping on your chest and stuff like that. I figured you were a drummer." He's like, "I do the same thing." I was like, "Oh, dude, yeah." I was like, "Wow, I didn't even realize I was doing that."
Yeah, I wore thumb rings as a kid growing up, man, and well, I still do. I have one, but I was always hitting on tables and shit. So, but yeah, I absolutely love it, man. TC, you are I've seen you play the kit, heard you play percussion. You're absolutely phenomenal. I love it, man. You definitely you keep that groove going, and you know exactly when to do what, and it's absolutely fantastic, man. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Scotty.
Of course, man.
What's next for you guys for Cultivated Mind? What's new music, tour dates, anything like that?
So yes, we got something new coming soon with Gabe Diaz of United Souls. He's a legend from our area and up and down the East Coast. But we haven't. I'll be real with you, man. There's been a lot of tunes that have, you know. Sometimes you put out music because it's from your heart, and sometimes it's because you want to hear something that's not around as much. And I haven't really heard a lot of like the old school kind of swaggery gangsta ganja tunes. And while we do a lot of stuff that's super conscious, I think out of 4 albums we have 1 or 2 ganja smuggling tunes, and that's about it. So we did a proper one. This one's not about hanging on the beach smoking with your girlfriend. So you know, I think for once in a long time, man, we hit a gear we haven't hit in a long, since the beginning, really. So we got a couple tunes that are a little more on the hard-hitting side coming out. And then we've got a jazz record coming out, too. That's like Caribbean music and jazz put together that's coming out as well. So, but right around the corner, look for that new track with Gabe Diaz, United Souls. And we got one coming with Vince Lee as well from Rude Boy Rhythm and Vince Lee Music. And both of those feature Mr. TC on percussion as well. So that'll be the first track we've ever had him released, doing the works on that too. So that's pretty sweet. But those 2 tracks are gonna probably come out first, and then Deep in My Pocket after that, I think.
Nice. Yeah, and Tony, I haven't bugged you the last 2 episodes, I think, for actual tracks. So the next one, I'm bugging you now.
I'll get you the new one with Gabe on it. I think you'll like it. It's
beautiful. That's absolutely fantastic, man. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to showcasing it and have the having the fans be able to hear something, hear it first right here in Hippie-Fari. So, give us your, let's see, it's cultivatedmindmusic.com, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep, and you're Cultivated Mind Music on every streaming platform, aren't you?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So not just Cultivated Mind, Cultivated Mind Music.
Yes, but if you type Cultivated Mind in Google, it's us. You can find all the links.
Yep, it's like a brain with legs. Pretty cool stuff, man.
Thanks, bro.
Awesome, dude. TC, Tony, I love you. Straight up.
Love you, Scotty.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we love you too, bro. And thank you to Shane as well for kicking with us tonight. Also,
Thank you, sir. Yes, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Down with you guys. It's always good to see people that are like out there doing it, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We're trying.
Massive shout out to Shane Scott from The Island Rhythm, www.theislandrhythm.com. Some of the dopest reggae, Rasta-inspired gear. He's got everything, man. Everything. Freaking lamps, everything, dude. You can possibly imagine. Even coffee. So it's veteran-owned. It's really good stuff. You're supporting a great cause. He is the official sponsor of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast. He actually helps present the podcast, which is a beautiful thing, and it's nice to have him on as a co-host. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, Mr. Tony, if that's okay. I kind of convinced Tony Brand to maybe co-host a couple of podcasts with me coming up here soon, so you might get to hear us literally bantering back and forth with each other. I think it'll be a lot of fun, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, man. You're like Laurel and I'm Hardy. Wait,
Yes.
The fat one's Hardy, right? Right.
I love it, dude. Well, you know what? We got to be something. We might as well be Laurel and Hardy. I love it. So you can do some of your pull string jokes, and you know, I can do some other bullshit, and it'll just be fun, man. But thank you guys. This was number 4, man. So we've been podcasting it up, dude. 2 more. That'll be half a year of Cultivated Mondays, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you giving us the platform to share the music, Scotty, for real.
Yeah,
Thank
you so much.
Always. That's what it's for. Whenever I envision a podcast, it was not just hearing myself talk, but giving people a platform to be able to share the message and share the music, the beautiful message of reggae music. So it's such a beautiful thing, man. So
yeah, everyone I turn on to your podcast loves the way you interview and everything like that. It's great.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you, man. I'm definitely working on that too, but I love it. I truly do. So there's nothing else I would rather do after work. I do love doing the podcasting. It's so much fun, man. And you guys make it fun, so thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Cultivated Mondays. Check it out. It's a monthly. We drop it the first Monday of every month, hence the name Cultivated Mondays, with the official reggae band of Hippie-Fari Reggae Radio and Podcasts, Cultivated Mind, Mr. Toady Brand, Mr. TC. Go to Cultivated Mind Music. Check out what they're doing. Every streaming platform, Cultivated Mind. You will not be disappointed. Amazing, conscious, roots, reggae music. Now, there is strength. What's that, buddy?
Oh, I said thank you, brother. Also, if I can inject one thing, man, we got an album with Space Camp coming out on August 5th, too. And I can't believe I made it a whole episode and didn't mention that. But we got new works coming out with them literally in 5 days. So make sure you check out Concrete Beach by Space Camp. And they're holding a gun to my head behind me, so I say it. But make sure you check that record out. And sorry to interrupt you, Scotty, man.
Nope, you didn't interrupt me at all, man. At least they've upgraded to the gun, and they're not using baseball bats and clubs anymore, so that's a good thing, man.
Big shout out to Oski and Doob and Red Eye and DJ Dreadhead and Gibbs. Whole Space Camp family, dog. We love you guys.
That's a beautiful thing. Shout out Space Camp. Thank you so much for that. We'll definitely be looking forward to that music, bro. It's always a pleasure blasting Cultivated Mind, man. So there is strength in unity. Build your community. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Hippie-Fari, and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Facebook. And shoot me an email, hippiefarireggae@gmail.com. And check out my website, hippiefari.podbean.com. And also visit theislandrhythm.com for the dopest reggae Rasta-inspired gear on the planet. This is Scott of the High Strung Hippie and Kira the Irie Empress. And I'm going to do something right now that's going to piss my wife off. Everybody hears Kira. I'm actually going to get her to come say hi in the camera. Hold on real quick. Just come say hi so I can see your beautiful face on YouTube. You know what I mean? There we go. All right, here we go.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Did you see her?
No, I can't
What
see
up,
it,
Kira?
but I'm here.
Hey. Do it one more time.
All right. Hello.
Nope, you got to lean in.
I'm leaning in.
Lean in, lean in, lean in.
Hi, everybody.
So you can see your picture there.
Hey, Kira.
How's it going?
Hey,
Good to see you.
good to see you again.
Nice. Awesome, man. This is Scotty the High Strung Hippie and Kira the Irie Empress reminding you to speak your mind before somebody else does it for you. Do something nice for somebody today. Grab flowers for your partner. Smoke out a stranger. Slip the homeless man a buck. But whatever you do, do it from the heart. All good things start with the heart. Peace, love, and Rasta rhythms are all a part of that reggae revolution. One love, fam.